Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel English and Beyond. I am CJ Roy and in today's class, we are going to learn future perfect continuous tense, the last of the 12 tenses. And in this video, we will learn how to make statements, both affirmative and negative, in this particular tense, future continuous tense. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's dive straight into our topic and learn how to make statements, affirmative and negative, in this last tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. Yes, the affirmative statements in future perfect continuous tense, starting with our I, first person singular, I, then it is future. So future, it is always shown by the auxiliary verb will or shall. So let's use here will or shall, and then have plus been plus main verb with ing. So in this tense, we have got 3 auxiliary verbs. That's the difference. This tense has got 3 auxiliary verbs. What are those auxiliary verbs? Will, have, been. So I will have been writing. Understood? I will have been writing a novel for 2 years. I hope it is clear to you what I am trying to say here. This tense speaks about an action which had been going on for some time and then ended, perfected, completed sometime in the future. Subject plus, will or shall plus, have plus, been plus, main verb with ing. That's the format. So I will have been writing a novel for 2 years. When a certain time comes in the future. Similarly, all the subjects, irrespective of whether they are singular or plural, first person, second person, or third person. Similarly, second person, you will have been writing a novel for 2 years, or you shall have been writing a novel for 2 years. And third person, same, he, she, it will have been writing a novel. And first person plural, we will have been writing a novel. We will have been writing a novel. And then last one, third person plural, they, plural subject. They will have been writing a novel. If you notice here, one thing you will understand, if you drop that will or shall, then this tense immediately becomes present perfect continuous tense. So that will is added immediately after the subject, and the present perfect continuous tense then will change into future perfect continuous tense. So if you remember these things, small tricks here or small things that you understand, then learning tenses will be much easier. And one more thing that I would like to suggest to you is that you learn a tense in comparison to other tenses. Then your learning becomes faster and you will understand it in detail, in depth. So this is how we make affirmative statements in the future perfect continuous tense. Next, we are going to learn how to frame negative statements here. Let's see that. In the negative statements, our pattern continues the same set pattern. We need to use that negative word not immediately after the first auxiliary verb. Here again, the first auxiliary verb is going to be will or shall. So it will be, I will not have been writing a novel for 2 years. I will not have been. Or else, will not, you can contract and say, I won't have been writing a novel. Shall plus not is shan't in English, but we rarely use them. But basically, we normally use will, and then will plus not is won't. So I will not have been writing a novel for 2 years, or else I won't have been writing a novel. Once again, I am repeating this particular tense, future perfect continuous. We do not use often this tense, but still I am teaching because you should know what is future perfect tense and how a sentence is created in future perfect tense. Next is, you will not have been writing, or else you won't have been writing. For the moment, I am not speaking about shall and shan't. You know what it is. So we will use now will. And third one, he, she, it. Now here, after will, always have. So don't use like in the present perfect, he has been writing a letter. Now in the future, once will comes, this has also will change into have. That is the difference. So he will not have been writing a novel, or else she will not have been writing, it will not have been writing, or else he, she, it won't have been writing a novel for 2 years. Next, first person plural. We will not have been writing. We will not have been writing, or else we won't have been writing. And the third person plural, they will not have been writing, they won't have been writing. So that the pattern is the same. Once you learn one tense, as I said, you know how to do the other things. This is in respect to where to put the negative word and how questions are framed here. So as I said, learn this tense, see how they go, and we do use them occasionally, but not always. So you don't get to see this all the time in English communications here. But this is a very useful tense as well. So we are learning. We are learning all the 12. This is the 12th, the last tense. And I'm sure now you know the last one, future perfect continuous tense, how to use it, how to make statements in this particular tense. Statements which are both affirmative and negative. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's class where we dealt with learning future perfect continuous tense, how to make statements. And if you found this lesson useful and helpful for you, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel English and Beyond. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you will never miss the new lessons that are going to come up next. Until we meet again in the next video, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing with English and Beyond. Thank you for watching. Take care. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel English and Beyond. I am CJ Roy and in today's class we are going to learn about future perfect continuous tense where we learn how to frame questions both affirmative and negative. So without wasting a moment, let's dive straight into our topic today. So let's see how to frame a sentence in the affirmative in the future perfect continuous tense. First person. I will have been writing. That was a statement. I will have will plus have plus been, three auxiliary verbs. The first one is will. So we take the first will and put it first in the sentence. So it will be, will I have been writing a novel? Will I have been? Similarly, you will have been writing will become, will you have been writing a novel for 2 years? Will you have been? And the third one is he, she, it. Will he or will she or will it have been writing a novel? Will he have been writing a novel? Will she have been writing a novel? Will it have been writing a novel? Let me tell you, dear learners, one thing that such kind of questions we generally, we don't ask in our everyday English. But then I am teaching this one, as I said earlier, to make sure that you know how questions are framed in this particular tense also. That's the reason. Now coming to first person plural, we will have been writing will become, will we have been writing? Will we have been writing? They will have been writing will become, will they have been writing? Will they have been writing a novel for 2 years? So I will explain to you later when we learn why and when at all we use this tense. What's the purpose of learning this tense? In what all situations we find this tense very useful? That we will learn later in the next video. But for the moment, you understand how to frame a question in the affirmative. So it's very clear. The set pattern follows, continues here as well. You need to put the first auxiliary first, then the subject, then the remaining. The remaining will always be in this particular tense. The remaining auxiliary verbs will be have, been, and then the main verb in the ing format. So that's clear, I suppose. And so let's go to our next one, where we learn how to frame negative questions. Let's see that. Negative question, you can easily guess now what it should be, because we have been doing it for all the other tenses. And here it is the same way. That is, you put the not immediately after the first auxiliary in the negative statement. So naturally in the question, it will be after the subject, because the first auxiliary will become the first word, the sentence, and then subject, and then not. So it will be like, I will not have been writing a letter will become, will I not have been writing, or won't I have been writing? Will plus not won't. Again, I'm telling you may use shall as well if you prefer that. But will is the normal word. Under normal conditions, we use will. So in the second, you will not have been writing. Negative statement. How do you frame a negative question out of this negative statement? How will you form? Will you not have been writing a letter? Will you not have been writing a novel? Or else, won't you have been writing a novel? Getting it? The third person singulars, he, she, it. He, she, it will have been writing. Will he not have been writing? Will she not have been writing? Will it not have been writing? Won't he have been writing? Won't she have been writing? Won't it have been writing? Perhaps you find it a little funny to ask such questions. That's why I said we rarely use this kind of questions in this particular tense. But my idea, as I said, is that you should know how questions are framed in this tense as well. That's the reason. And now let's go to the first person plural, that is our next subject, we, where we say, we will not have been, what do you do here? Writing, yes. We will not have been writing a novel. It will become, will we not have been writing? Won't we have been writing? And when it comes to they will not have been writing. Will they not have been writing? Will they not have been writing? Won't they have been writing? You got the idea. I'm sure you understand how it goes. That is more important here. You can always go back, revise in your mind this one, think about this pattern, and once it gets set into your mind, anywhere any problem arises, you will be able to know what exactly to be used. And even when you make a mistake, you know, oh, this is a mistake I made. I should have used. So initially, the correct one. When you start learning English, when you are learning these tenses, you need to have consciously, you need to think about certain things. But once you get into that flow, then you don't think of these things. It automatically comes to you. It becomes natural to you. It may be your second nature. And so initially when you learn grammar, you have to give some thought. Yeah, this is what I have to use. This, it should go here, it should come here initially. But slowly and steadily, when you continue using this one, you will be surprised at your own progress, because you will be using it so naturally without even thinking about how this tense, that, this, and that, and all. But initially, you have to learn, you have to spend your time, and you need to use your memory, exercise your memory as well, so that those things, the rules, they are fixed or clearly registered in your brain. So I wish you all the very best here. Well, that brings us to the end of our lesson today. And in this video, we learned how to frame questions, both affirmative and negative, in the future perfect continuous tense. And if you found this session, if you found this lesson useful, helpful to you, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And please tap the bell icon so you will never miss our next English lesson. In the meantime, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing with English and beyond. Until we meet again in the next video, it's goodbye from me. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel English and Beyond. I'm CJ Roy and in today's class, let's learn when and why we should be using future perfect continuous tenses. We learn this tense, how to frame questions, how to frame statements, both affirmative and negative. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about when to use or why at all we should use future perfect continuous tense. So without taking much time, let's get started with today's topic. Yes, future perfect continuous tense we use to indicate the duration of an action up to a specific time in the future. Read that again. To indicate the duration of an action which is going on, the duration, to a specific time in the future. This is future. So naturally, it is going on and completing sometime in the future. So when you see the examples, you will understand. By next year, I will have been teaching at this school for 10 years. You understand the meaning of this one. By next year, not this year, next year, which means it is future. I will have been teaching at this school for 10 years. What does that mean? It means that I have been teaching. I have been teaching is present perfect continuous tense. Or else I can say I had been teaching. I started 9 years ago teaching at this school. So 9 years this teaching is going on. So I will have been teaching at this school for 10 years by next year. Means 9 years completed. By next year it will be 10. So the duration of 10 years completed next year, that is in the future. I hope it's clear. Next sentence, let us see, you'll understand more. By 5 p.m., she will have been working on the project for 8 hours. Suppose now is 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. So she started some time back. So the action started in the past. It is still continuing. But 8 hours will be completed by 5 p.m., which is yet to come in the future. Next one, by the time you reach home, we will have been traveling for 6 hours. By the time we reach home means we are traveling now. We started. Now, by the time we reach home, we are yet to reach home. When we reach home, it will be our total traveling time will be 6 hours. So by the time you reach home, we will have been traveling for 6 hours. The last one, in 2026, they will have been living in this city for a decade. We saw similar example in the previous tenses as well. In 2026, they will have been living in the city. See, next year, that is by 2026, it is a future time. At that point in 2026, we will have been living in the city for a decade. Decade means 10 years. We saw this. Let's see some other examples or situations where we use this particular tense to show cause and effect relationship for future events. Perhaps you did not understand. Let's look at the examples. Then you will understand what I mean by showing cause and effect relationship for future events. By the end of the day, that's a future event, end of the day, he will have been exercising for so long that he will be exhausted. He will be dead tired by the end of the day. Why? Because by the end of the day, he will have been exercising. That means he has started and it's going on his exercise. By the end of the day, it will be such a long time that he is exercising, and the result will be he'll be dead tired. The next example, by midnight, she will have been studying so hard that she will need a break. So up to midnight is a long time. So we cannot continuously study like this. By the time she reaches midnight, it's sure that she needs a break. By the time the guests arrive, we will have been cooking for hours. Means we have started maybe cooking. The guests will arrive later, not now, but by the time they arrive, it would be a long duration of time that we will have been cooking. And last one, by the time you call, I will have been sleeping and may not hear the phone. You see, for a long time I will be sleeping here. And when you call later, I may not hear it because I will have been sleeping. So these are some of the examples where we use future perfect continuous tense. Go through these, if possible, take a screenshot of all these, and then go through these examples again and again, so you will understand how they are used in this particular tense. Now let's move to a few exercises. Let us work it out together and see how much we have understood this. First one. She dash for her turn for an hour before the doctor calls her in. Any idea? He dash for her turn for an hour before the doctor calls her in. The verb that I have given is wait. So which tense are we doing now? We are doing future perfect continuous tense. So after she, which auxiliary verb? Will. Then which one? Have. Then been. So she will have been. Wait is a main verb with ing. So she will have been waiting. She will have been waiting for her turn for an hour before the doctor calls her in. Next one, by next year, they dash in the city for a decade. By next year, they will have been living. They will have been living in the city for a decade. The next one, he dash on this project for long before he resigns. So not going to be a negative, and then the main verb is work. So he will not. He will not have been working on this project. He will not have been working on this project for long. And next one, the kids dash outside for hours before their parents call them in. Play is the word. The kids means plural. They, the kids will plus have plus been plus play with ing. So the kids will have been playing outside. Next, by the time we reach the airport, the flight dash for 20 minutes. Board is the thing. By the time we reach the airport, the flight will have been boarding for 20 minutes. So we are not reached the airport. By the time we reach, when we reach there, this would be going on. And the last one, I dash this dance routine for weeks before the competition starts. The competition is going to start in the future. By then, I will have been practicing this dance routine for weeks. So it would be a long time practice for me. Yes, these are a few exercises where we saw how future perfect continuous tense is used. Well then, dear learners, that completes our lesson today where we learned future perfect continuous tense and their uses. And that also brings us to the end of our tense series here. I hope it was a very beneficial, fruitful journey with me for you people. And I want you to go through this one and study. But we have one more video on tenses. It will be our next video where we sort of revise all the tenses that we learned. So in the meantime, if you enjoyed this last video in the tense here, the last tense that we learned here, then please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And please don't forget to tap the bell icon so you will not miss our next upcoming videos. Until we meet again in the final tense video where we revise all the tenses once again very quickly, please keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing with our channel English and Beyond. Thank you for watching and have a great time. Take care.